Our agenda tonight, please look at it, has a new look. We wish to emphasize the importance of our pledge to allegiance and our vision and mission statements. These changes were recommended by Dr. Carter, who was with us virtually last month. The February 1st, 2024 working meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Education will now come to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our vision statement. The vision of Lincoln County Schools is to empower every student with the knowledge and skills necessary to become college, career, and citizenship ready by providing high-quality education and enriching opportunities in every classroom every day. Our mission statement is every student, every classroom, every day, college, career, and citizenship ready. Our quote of the evening: the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. And that is by Helen Keller. We need to move item 6A to 7A. Is there a motion to set the meeting agenda?
Make a motion.
Okay, Christine?
Second.
Okay, Marvin? Vote. Gloria?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, we'll move on to our discussion items. 3A, presentation of early childhood mid-year report. Amy Rigsby.
All right, good evening. All right, so we're going to start by going over the mid-year report, but I wanted to introduce a few people before we got started who are integral to our program. These are two coordinators that I've actually brought with me tonight. So Kim Carrier, she's our curriculum specialist, and Shana Brown, she's our parent, families, and community engagement coordinator. So they are going to be helping me present this information. I feel like it's important that you will see the faces of a variety of different people that serve our families and our students. So without further ado, we're going to go into our mission statement. So our mission statement for the Lincoln County Early Childhood School Readiness piece is that children are ready for school, that families are ready to support their children's learning, and that schools are ready for our children. Our philosophy, and I'm just going to kind of highlight these, that all children can be ready for school if they're supported by, of course, we know with our knowledgeable and nurturing teachers, developmentally appropriate practices and experiences, environments that meet their unique needs, parents that understand their child's growth and development, and then strong partnerships among school, family, and community. We do have a variety of program goals, and I'm just going to highlight, I'm not going to go over each and every one of these. You have these in your packet, and they've been uploaded to, I believe, the KSBA portal so that you have access. But the program goal is that we're going to improve that systematic approach to data analysis, and we collect a lot of data. So we're going to go over a few pieces of that, but it is very data rich with everything that we must do, not only for state, but Head Start, primarily Head Start and Early Head Start. We have child goals. We also have family engagement goals. The overall or overarching child goal is that children will be prepared to engage in and benefit from early learning experiences that best promote their ability to enter school ready to grow, learn, and succeed, which of course is very, very important as we transition into kindergarten. Family engagement goal, which Shanda will talk a little bit more about in just a few moments. that families will be able to support and advocate for their child's learning, development, and transitions in the homeschool community, which is also a huge part of our program in bringing in parents, training them adequately, being a support to them. We have our program demographics on the next page. You'll see here we do have 10 classrooms. We have 4 early Head Start classrooms. And then, of course, you see our funded enrollment, the number of children served. We have 134 Head Start, 28 Kentucky preschool students, and then 32 early Head Start. We have 48 students with disabilities in our preschool program, and we have less than 5 in our early program with disabilities. And then attendance. We have a goal of 85%. And if you look for our preschool daily attendance, we are actually surpassing that with 89%. And then with our early Head Start daily attendance, it's slightly lower, but at 83%. We're working on that. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Kim.
So Valerie and I conducted classroom observations using the class assessment scoring system. Our goal is to have 6 across all class domains by 2023. And our early Head Start, we are currently performing at 5.53, so we're not quite there yet. If you look, the blue is our national average, and then the red is what Lincoln County is scoring. So we're scoring above the national average, but we're still not meeting our goal. So, and then for our preschool Head Start classrooms, overall we're at 5.8, and again we're above national average except for classroom organization in all of those domains. So, and then Sonia Michaels, who is our Berea RTC director, is coming in February to complete another round of class observations, just so that we have another eye on our program to make sure that, you know, it's balanced. And then ITERS and ECHRS, which is our environmental rating scales. It's another observation that Valerie and I completed. We want to be 6 across all domains. And if you look at our ITERS, early Head Start, overall we were at 6.37, so we have met that goal except for in the areas of activities and personal care routines. And then for ECHRS, we were at overall 5.78. We have more growth there, which may be contributed to having some new staff members, but with training and everything, we hope that that will increase. So, any questions?
Right, the family mid-year outcomes. The following shows the areas measured and the family outcomes from the fall 2023 to winter 2023. And one of the areas in this table that you have below, I'm not going to go over every bit of it because we'll be here all night, but so one of the lowest areas was adult education, which was a 2.5, was early Head Start, and then preschool Head Start was a 2.7. Families as advocates and leaders was 2.2, and for early Head Start and preschool was 2.6. Flipping over to the next slide is our early Head Start School Readiness 2023-2024 Mid-Year Family Checklist. We had 100% participation with the parent surveys from early Head Start. All the parents participated, and one of the areas that showed much progress, I'm not going to go over every bit of it, was participating in new experiences with 62%. As parents are saying, there was 62% that has made much progress. Another one was enjoying books and listening to stories, and that was 66%. Over to the next slide is our school readiness 2023-2024 mid-year family checklist, preschool Head Start, and we had 83% participation with parent survey. One of the areas that was the high was demonstrates appreciation of music, art, dance, and pretend play, which was 68%, and demonstrates an interest in engaging in group experiences with 63%. The highest being demonstrates control of small muscles for such purposes as using utensils, self-care, and building and exploring. Building those fine motor skills. And be a good rider when they go on the kindergarten. The Lincoln County Early Childhood 2023-2024 Parent Support Mid-Year Children's Regular Attendance. The family engagement goal, objective 2, was for 85% of parents will support their child's regular attendance. And preschool Head Start, that was 59%. Early Head Start, it was 16%. Total program was 52%. Family engagement for 2023-2024 mid-year reports. Family engagement goal 1, 90% of parents will engage in the program activities to support their children's learning and development. And as you look at this chart, we do like the homework backpack program. There was 85, down at the bottom, there was 85 that parents participated in it. It's not offered to all families. They have to want to do those things. Family learning activities was 62. Positive solutions for families was 4. We want that to be higher, and I really encourage families, and I promote that in our program, is getting those families to come out because it's really good resources, and I provide a workshop monthly for those families. Parent activity, child development, or child together time, there was 83 families that was engaged in that. Parent-teacher conferences was 126. Parent development and opportunities was 5. The next slides are very long, and this was from the mid-year parent mid-year comments. And the question was asked is, how has your involvement in the program helped you better understand your child and the importance of early learning and school readiness? I'm not going to read all these to you. There was so many. There is 3 pages. I typed them just like the parents had put on the forms. I had to type every one of them out. So I wanted you guys to be able to see there is lots and lots of positive in our program, and the parents are very, very impressed with what they have. Like, I like what I've seen. Great, wonderful program that helped a lot. It has been a great experience, and he has grown so much. So you can read over those.
All right, and then the very last piece is, of course, we have a statement here, working together to mold our future students and citizens of Lincoln County. And that concludes our mid-year report. Do we have any questions at this time?
I just have a comment. I love the comments.
Yeah, there's
So, I just already have been reading them. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's what we strive for.
Yes,
Children and families. Thank you, ladies.
thank you.
Okay, we'll go to 3B, 2024-2025 technical section 7 allocations, Leanne Smith. And Leanne's going to be with us for a little bit.
It's not as bad as it looks. I promise. All right, so the first thing is the section 7 staffing. Those allocation formulas, there are no changes from last year. So we're just gonna keep all those the same as we approved last year. We just have to have these approved before March so that we can make sure we get the allocations to the schools. So I'm just asking for a tentative approval on the section 7 staffing allocation formulas for 24-25. So I'll just go right on to the next item, if that's okay,
Be fine.
which is the
next
section
one,
4 and section
yeah,
5.
5 allocations.
Same thing on this, there are no changes, and just asking that you all approve the tentative formulas. We will be looking at these again in April, I think, is when we do the final approval on them. So if you have any questions between now and then, we can address those, but for now, like I said, there are no changes recommended.
Did you all get a chance to see about the janitors,
See what?
adding janitors per number of students?
I've never looked into that. I mean, I've asked around to other districts about how they staff. I think that KDE sent me the industry standard on staffing schools janitorially, and I think we fit within that range. But I'm not looking into anything else at this time unless you direct me to look into it.
It's just my understanding that the floor plan of Waynesburg and the floor plan of Stafford Elementary is really close to the same, and they have the same number of janitors. Well, the student numbers is like triple, so you know the janitor has to do way more at Stafford than they do at Waynesburg.
Sure, and that's up to the board. That's at the board's pleasure. I think the formula reads a janitor for every 20,000 square feet. That's the way it reads.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to contract for elementary photography.
Yes, last month we approved the photography company for the middle school and the high school. We're looking to approve the contract with the elementary schools with Strawbridge Studios. So we kind of went different ways last year between the elementary schools and the middle and high. And I think the elementary schools are pleased with Strawbridge, who they've been using. And so just asking to approve extending that contract for another year.
And it is with Strawbridge.
Strawbridge, correct.
Okay, we'll continue with drug testing services.
We are just looking to renew our current contract with Cornerstone Diagnostic for the 24-25 school year. I don't see Tracy, but I spoke with her and she indicated that she would desire to continue that with them. So I defer to her preference on that, and she said she was good with them.
Is that the same rate that we'll be paying this year?
The rate would stay the same. So if we are going to extend a contract for an additional year, which our bid documents say that we can, the terms have to stay the same. So if they wanted to raise prices, we would rebid it again, and then we would decide if we wanted to go with them or somebody else.
Any questions, anybody? Okay, student accident insurance.
Good news on this, the premium is going to stay the same. So we work with Roberts Insurance, who gathers quotes from different companies for us for student accident insurance. And they always come back with their recommendation. And so I'm going to be asking the board to accept the quote from the Hartford for the 24-25 school year at the same premium as last year. I don't think that premium's changed since I've been here. So we're looking at the 4th year, 5th year. Total premium is $80,759, and we pay for that from the general fund. Just a little information on what that covers. So that coverage is for all students and student athletes. We have a base policy which covers students and athletes from $0 to $25,000. And then there's a catastrophic policy that kicks in from $25,000 up to like $7.5 million of a claim. So I think any student, we want this coverage in place. We want our students to be protected. Should they get injured, in our buildings or playing sports, we want to have this coverage in place.
Okay, contract for mowing.
Let's see. Our contract was with Tanner Smith for last year's mowing season. And I spoke with Darren on this, and he recommended we stick with Tanner Smith for the 2024 mowing season. He reached out to Mr. Smith to make sure that he also wanted to continue forward, and that pricing will be $1,696 per mowing. So that's going to be the recommendation, to continue with them an additional year.
Could you repeat that amount, please?
$1,696 per mowing.
That's for all the schools.
Yes.
Yep.
And the principals were satisfied with their service.
I assume if there was anybody not satisfied, they would have spoken to
I
Darren.
haven't heard any.
I think that from what I heard last year, Darren was very pleased, and I see Chad that was at Waynesburg Elementary last year. I think overall everybody was complimentary of the grounds. See, you're on
Any questions or comments? Thank you, Leanne.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll move on to 3H, food service assistant position. Kathy H.
I would like to ask you all to create a position 8 hours a day for 205 days a year, and it will be paid out of food service funds.
205 days.
Yes, please.
Okay, any questions for Kathy?
She needs the help.
The job description and the salary schedule, it would be added to that if it's approved.
It's all
It's
attached.
all attached
Yeah,
there.
it's there.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, 3I surplus, the ag tool, Darren Yaden.
Come from Mr. Hayden.
Okay.
The high school ag class has, been working there, and they would like to surplus all of those listed, pieces of equipment there. And, got any questions about any of them? They said they no
Do you
longer
want to
need
read
them.
those to us?
I can.
Yeah.
The drill press, I won't read the serial numbers.
Yeah.
A sandblaster, a dust collector, 3 band saws, 2 table saws, and a multi-press. I'm not for sure what that is. And then there's also a piece of equipment that may be to aid in the working on an engine block. And I'm not for sure what that is, so those are the
Sounds like
10.
they're not for sure either.
I think they have found, they've been just cleaning up the ag and they found some of these things that are no longer used, so,
Whatever they are not using them anymore.
How will you sell them?
that'll be up to the board.
Oh, okay.
You have 3 choices, seal bid, auction, usually those type of things are seal bid, right?
That's how we've done every other item that we've declared surplus.
Kind of like these buses here and vehicles, it's probably the best way to do that. Wouldn't think you'll want to do an auction on those things and probably seal bids would be the best.
No, it didn't matter. I
Yeah,
just wanted to know you were gonna do it.
Any other questions? And then the proceeds would go back to the FFA club.
No,
Okay.
that's great.
Okay.
Okay, 3J, change order for the Lincoln County High School corridor.
Okay,
Smith.
there's a change order in the amount of $12,035.90, and what this, and Jason can jump in, we have Jason with us tonight from Felter and Samakar. My understanding is that in working in the corridor project, they ran into, there needs to be some more decking on the roof there, and also you have a picture in the attachment, the large crack that is in the wall there as you start down that corridor. We want to also fix that. Jason, you have anything you need to add to that?
That's just basically it's a renovation and you run into things that you didn't necessarily know when you got started, when you start tearing things apart and getting in there. So there was like some additional blocking we needed to add to the roof edge. Also, as Mr. Smith mentioned, the crack that in the wall that was already there, we had not addressed it as part of the project, but once we're in there and we've got people there to work, it's always a good idea to take care of those things. We want to stabilize that and fix that cracking there. There's also a couple of items that were some credits from the contractor, some things that they didn't use. It actually lowered the cost of some of the things that we needed to do. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise there that we ran into.
So as you walk down the corridor, it's to the right.
Yeah,
The-
right there.
the wall, the
Outside the
wall.
cafeteria there. Yeah, that wall is a nice big stair step crack down at the bottom of it. And it's actually
What would you
shifted.
do with that?
They'll go probably up high on the wall,
Take it
drill some
out?
holes, basically pour concrete in them. They're gonna fill those cells with concrete to stabilize that and grind some of that out, repaint the wall. Clean, you can't shift it back in
No.
place, obviously, so we'll do the best we can to get it kind of
So they
cleaned up,
just took
smoothed
one
out.
in after you got it
Yep.
stabilized.
Yep, redo those joints there. And that's
Are we pretty much on schedule with the
We are-
project?
we are back on schedule now that we have better weather. The weather had kind of thrown everything off. The roofers couldn't get in there and our brick kind of ended up being delayed. The brick that we wanted to use, we were suddenly told about a month before its delivery date that it was not available. So we had to do some quick looking around and checking with some more suppliers, and we did find another brick that is a good match. It's suitable and is actually scheduled to be dropped off tomorrow morning. And there were roofers over there working when I came on my way to the meeting. So we're back on schedule. We're on track now.
Possibly
Thank you.
spring break will be.
We're
here.
supposed to be done 1st of April.
Will you,
Wow.
and I'm not trying to question a lot of stuff here, but these cracks can't open back up. Are you gonna rebar that anyway when you pour the concrete down in those holes?
No, I don't, I'm not planning to open it up enough to put rebar in it, but it's, the good thing about those walls in the building, which kind of shocked me, but the building is structural steel.
Yeah.
Those walls don't hold any load. We're kind of confused about what even caused it to shift in the first place. We think maybe it had something to do with the, that structure of what I call the greenhouse, the bubble, that was all aluminum. I think maybe the movement of that pushed on the wall. So once it's got concrete in there, it's not going to go anywhere. There's nothing else to make it move.
Anything else for Jason? Okay, we'll move on to 3K, 2024-2025 NTI plan, Anthony Beaver.
KDE requires for NTI plans to be submitted and approved annually. And then they're signed off by the Commissioner of Education. This is a pretty straightforward request. I'm simply asking for you to approve the plan so we can submit it to KDE. And this plan is completely identical to last year's plan. The only thing that's been changed on it is our goals to reflect the goals in our current district improvement plan. And so again, we're going to be focusing on current content. Lesson plans are going to be submitted by teachers along with work samples to their supervisors. The delivery method is primarily digital, but if we need to, we can make modifications for those that don't have access to digital. Maybe they don't have internet in their home or whatever. And it's kind of like the old saying goes, if it's not broke, why fix it? And so the families of Lincoln County are familiar with our current plan and what NTI means. And so I'm just requesting that you approve it as written.
And the amount of days are the same.
Correct.
Any questions for Anthony? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move down to 3L, support staff for special needs students. Diana Hart is doing that for us.
Yes, so there is a student that the ARC determined that it would be best to add an additional staff member, so we're asking for that.
This will be one-on-one support.
Yes.
And IDEA funds cover this.
Any questions? Diana? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we have one action item tonight. Could not wait till next week for a Lincoln County Middle School All-State course to Louisville.
This was brought to my attention. Have been some students that have been selected for the All-State Children's Choir and junior high course. So we're just asking that you approve for the middle school students to attend that event in Louisville on February 7th and 8th.
Make a motion.
A second.
Just a moment, please.
Oh, I want to give you, let you
I'm
read
not
it.
finished with discussion. We're in a hurry here. We don't have any kids there on.
I think
What'd you
you're
say?
4
Four,
students.
and they'll spend the night. Okay, all right, let's do it. You want to read it? Okay, is there a motion to approve the Lincoln County Middle School All-State Course trip to Louisville on February 7th and 8th of 2024?
I make the motion.
Okay,
I
we
second.
have a motion, we have a second. Let's do a vote. Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Marvin, Christine,
Yes.
and yes for me. Okay, we'll move on to public comment. Colleen, do we have any public comment?
Yes, we do. Jonathan Dagley.
Okay, you may come on up, but we have some preliminary things we need to do. We will set the time and Brent, our board attorney, will read to you.
As required by statute, the board sets aside at least 15 minutes of every regular board meeting for public comment. Public comment procedures require sign in, which you've done. Now, when you speak, please identify yourself. If you represent an organization, please identify the organization. Each speaker is given 2 minutes and no yielding of time is permitted. Is there only one speaker signed up?
No, there's two.
Okay. Can't read through the orange highlight. To provide as much opportunity as possible for others to speak, avoid excessive repetition of points made by previous speakers. Please speak to broad topics, avoid comments that relate to specific board members, employees, or students, or that are otherwise private or personal in nature. Please use civil language, avoid name calling. board will not engage in lengthy Q&A or debate of issues. Board members and staff are present to listen and rarely ask questions.
My name is Jonathan Bagley. Some of you that don't know me, I am the cafeteria manager at Highland Elementary School. I'm here in regards to the assistant position for the director of our facilities. The reason I'm here, I have no idea what anybody else is going to say. There was no practice or anything. I'm just here simply to say that I feel that she needs an assistant, and I'm coming from the inside looking out. What I mean by that is I work in a cafeteria on a daily basis, and I know that with my responsibilities, there's a lot that has been added over the years. As you all probably already know, there's a lot of things that change on a daily basis, but also on a yearly basis that's being asked from our state and from our government, the requirements that we have. With that, I'm here asking that you guys would consider agreeing on an assistant for Kathy due to the fact that I can see that there's many times that I've received text messages after 11 o'clock where she is in the office doing things that could be done otherwise. So long story short, I'm just saying, I'm asking that you guys would really consider the fact that she does need the help. If the position is not an option, I would like to know that you guys would stand behind her and at least sit down and discuss some other options that there may be that I feel that personally she needs the help.
Thank you, sir.
Before you sit down, I'd like for you to share with the board the information that you shared with me about Highlands Health Department inspection.
Oh, I think what she's getting at is Miss Gloria is talking about at Highland, we received 100% on a health inspection, which what I was told was that was probably the first time that anyone could remember. That's not a bragging point. That is.
I think it is.
That is with the things that Kathy has helped us to get through the trainings that we've got, and I think that would be a lot that we would have. But that goes back to my team members that are the ones that have accomplished that.
Congratulations. Okay, our next gentleman
Is Billy McCormick.
Bill McCormick, I'm cafeteria manager at Lincoln County Middle School. And I know what Kathy goes through, seeing the work she's done, I've seen her test out. I know how much she puts into it. And I know she needs the help. The hours that she works beyond what she's getting paid for. And there's been times that she has called for me to help. And I know she needs a position to do it.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to move to executive session per KRS 61.8101B for deliberations on the future acquisition of sale of real property because public discussion would affect the value of the property.
Make a motion.
Second. Okay, I need a motion.
Marvin.
You still have
Christine seconded.
second. Okay, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Marvin,
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes. Okay, we're now back in open session. No action was taken. So is there a meeting to adjourn the meeting? Motion. Christine?
Second.
And second. Jen, vote. Gloria?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yes.
Christine? Yes. And I vote yes also.